Hey y'all, Josh McQueen here, Fish Ohio Outfitters, and it is a gorgeous December day. And by gorgeous, we mean it's 50 degrees, 52 to be exact, cloudy. And I'm on an undisclosed inland lake in Ohio and an inland reservoir. My gut sense is a few of you watching this will probably recognize it. But we're gonna be looking for some muskie today, which means a lot of casting, a lot of jigging, and maybe some catching, but we all know how that goes. It's kind of a tough sport, but we're gonna grind it out. And the water's got that sort of creepy, eerie December feel to it. It's very green. It's just dead calm out here today. As you can see, there's no waves, not hardly a stitch of wind. And this is the kind of weather, it's not a guarantee, but this is the kind of weather that big muskie get caught on. This is sort of the best month of the year, in my opinion, to catch big inland reservoir muskie is in December. Basically, we're gonna try a couple of things. The water's still warm enough. I think it's 47 degrees. So it's still warm enough to have a few fish, although probably not the big ones, up in the shallows. And we're gonna do a little glide bait fishing for those. And then we'll probably hop on out in the middle a little bit and look for those big balls of shad that are notorious this time of year, that those bigger muskie are just setting up under, where there's just giant schools of shad that can be 100 yards long. So follow along, and we're gonna go have some fun and do a little fishing and see what happens. Yep, we're gonna casted, moved one actually pretty nice fish, but it was a pretty smart fish that didn't act like he really wanted to make a big move. So we're gonna go do a little sonar graphing and see if we can find where the big bait balls are. This is sonar, so that's just classic traditional sonar. And then this is a side imager on this side, which is, I've got it out at about 100 feet wide on both sides. Helps me, I can see the bait fish on there when they're on there. I'll see a lot of other stuff like that creek channel right there. So we're just cruising around looking for schools of shad, really, more so than individual muskies. This is vertically jigging. So I'm using what's called a Bondi bait, big soft plastic vertical jigging bait. And the reason I'm fishing right under that corner is because that's where my transducer is, my sonar. So you can actually see the Bondi bait on the graph. I can see exactly where it is. I can see myself controlling it. That's it right there, bouncing up and down. Isn't that wild? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get up close into some of these edges of these shad schools, and then we'll just look. And if we see a big old arc in there, we know that's probably a muskie. We're gonna just try to get right in its face. So what we're gonna do is troll, which means we're using the power of the boat We're gonna use the power of the boat to move, to pull our baits. And so the planer boards, they keep the baits off to the side of the boat so that they're not right behind the boat, right? So it's easier to turn. It also is kind of stealthier, so we're not trolling right over their heads. So here we go. So this is definitely one area for me where, you know, I've got a lot of growth yet in musky fishing. I think any good musky angler would tell you, though, they're always growing and always learning, because it is just, it's complex. There's a lot to it. And it's a challenge, but that's what makes it fun. Well, it's time to wrap up. We had one shot and actually saw a lot of fish, so that's kind of, for musky fishing, is, some people would tell you that's a successful day in and of itself. We actually had a follow casting from a nice fish, but really just didn't stick it out that long with casting, because it's really, I knew there'd be a lot more fish on these shad schools. But you know, at the end of the day, that's kind of the thing about musky fishing, is it's a grind. You got to have a desire to really want to catch one, because most of the time, you're going to come out and it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a struggle, and probably going to result in going home empty-handed and not necessarily catching fish. So, but we did get close today. We had a shot. That's always a win in my book. Yeah, a couple of tactics to go back through from the day, just jigging Bondi baits, a couple different kinds down on these shad schools that are very thick right now. And then really just, we trolled spoons for a while, which is a good thing to try when just big Canadian spoons like this. Good thing to try when the fish are up high. They were up basically the top of the water column. And that's how we did have our one, the one eat that we got was a fish that ate a spoon up high, but just couldn't seem to get enough pressure to keep him on. So, but yeah, the weather was awesome. Weather cooperated. There's not a stitch of wind out here, which is just always enjoyable. Low ceiling, water's pretty green, looks nice. And there's plenty of shad, as you can see, probably behind me, maybe. Lots of shad out here, but yeah, we're gonna pack it in, and we'll come back and we'll try it again. So today is kind of, you know, standard day. I wouldn't call it a tough day. The weather was right. There was opportunity. And really just, you know, we just didn't get one in the net, but that's not unheard of with musky fishing. So loading the boat up now. And as soon as we get a chance, we'll be back at it again. Lots of steelhead fishing going on right now too. And that's mostly what I'm guiding, and that's been very productive, steelhead fishing. But the Jessie A is back on the trailer. She's done for the day, and appreciate you guys checking this video out. We'll have more musky videos in the future. Hopefully we can actually feature a fish sometime. They're tough to get. We'll be doing some more steelhead videos over the course of the winter here, a couple other things, maybe some trout, and just appreciate it. If you like this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. And leave us a comment on what you think down below. We'll catch you next time.